goodness. My goodness. I haven't went live in so long. It's been a long time. long time since I went live. That's life. That's life. Life, sometimes social media is not it's not healthy. It's not good for your mental health. You gotta turn off the computer, turn off the laptop from time to time. It is not good for your mental health. Think about what's going on right now with Carlee Russell, Carlee Smollett. That's all social media right there. That's all social media. That's all social media. That's all that is. Social media, everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants that 15 minutes of fame. That's all social media. I'm sure she was at the Holiday Inn just checking her phone. Checking her phone. It's messing up your mentals. It's messing up your mental health. Social media is messing with your mental health. It really is. It really is. Got you on the side of the highway doing crazy stuff. It's messing up your mental health. You gotta be safe out here. You gotta protect your mental health. Best way to protect your mental health is ease up a little bit off the social media. You have to ease up a little bit off the social media. I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's hot. I know it's hot in these streets. I hope everybody's doing well, having a good summer. I'm having a great summer. So I'm hoping you having a good summer. I try to do a few more here and there when I can to kind of let you guys know what's going on in the streets, what the streets are saying. Like with Dwight Howard. Why is Dwight Howard still DMing these guys? Is he like just in the Philippines and he doesn't care anymore? Like, I don't even care about the other stuff. I don't care about the one to play backgammon, with the fellas or whatever. Like, that's not important, him wanting to play backgammon with the fellas. I mean, I think, most people already assume that. The interesting thing about Dwight's an interesting story in the sense that he came into the league pure, and, as a virgin. Should never go into the NBA as a virgin. He came into the NBA as a virgin. He wanted to change the logo to the cross. He's pure. And what happens is, sometimes when you're pure, if that first taste turns you out, you can never go back from that. Royce Reed did that thing. She's real short. She got real low. Messed up his mind forever. Man ain't never been the same since then. They got a little taste, a little twerk. Ain't never been the same since then. Still should be a top 75 player, but he never been the same since that first twerk. He got hit with that first twerk, blew his mind. Now he's doing all type of crazy stuff, and he says he's not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He just likes freaky stuff. I hate to admit it, if the alleged texts are true. I mean, if you're asking another man for his meat, you're gay. You're bisexual, whatever you want to call it. We don't put a label on it. But why are you doing it in the DMs? Like, why are you texting this? You got to have a middleman. You got to have a fall guy. What happens to fall guys? It used to be fall. Devin Haney just got caught with the gun in his car, and there's like 30 dudes in there with him, and nobody took the fall. What happened to a good fall guy? We're missing good fall guys in sports anymore. I can't tell you how many of your favorites should be in jail for 10 years right now, but they had a good fall guy. You'll be surprised. Many of your favorites should be in jail right now, doing hard time, having their videos exposed like King Von, but they had a good fall guy, and they're okay. They're still in the league, or they don't make their money and everything. Trust me, a lot of your favorite athletes are criminals. I mean, downright criminals. And he's a fall guy, a good lawyer, a good fix-it man, whatever you want to call it. Michael Clayton, whoever. Ray Donovan. They had a couple of those to handle things because they would be in jail right now if you don't have a good fall guy. So Dwight should have had somebody handling all this for him. You gotta have somebody handling this for you. Like, why are you not? Come on, man. You gotta have somebody handling this. If you want to do your little dalliances and liaisons, never, ever, 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 ever do it through the DM. You gotta have somebody filtering these people out because this is not the first time he got sued. So they always have evidence. Now, I don't know if he's paying them off or what's going after, but he's always getting sued. Still should be a top 75 player. We just talked about ball. If we just talk about ball, it should be a top 75 player. If we're just talking about ball. But you gotta stay out of those DMs. You gotta stay out of those text messages. You gotta be careful, with that. People put that right out there. What happened was, here's what I think would happen. They try to negotiate a settlement or something. And the settlement amount is not, to their liking. So all of a sudden, the case, which has been going on for a while, gets leaked. All of a sudden, the case gets leaked. And the only thing that gets leaked with the case of the text messages. That's some lawyering right there. That's some lawyering right there. That's what's going on with that. That's some lawyering right there. That's what got Dwight caught up. That's what got him caught up. But nobody cares. Like, nobody cares anymore. Let's just be. You got to be honest. Like, nobody really cares. Like, it was a story that some coach came out and said he was gay. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. It's all right. What happened? The Raiders guy still play? You gonna sack the quarterback or not? That's all the people care about these days. Fans, believe it or not, fans are more progressive, I think, in certain sports than others. I think like NFL fans or basketball. Can you shoot the three? Can you sack the quarterback? Can you catch the ball? Like, they don't care what you do after that. They don't care. I don't think fans care. They care if you can ball or not. Like, some sports maybe, but not like, no. I don't think, trust me, if Nick Bosa, MAGA Bosa, was like, I'm gay, and he still gave him 20 sacks, they wouldn't care at all. Nobody would care. Nobody care if Patrick Mahomes was like, I've been, living a secret life, and this lady here has been my beard the whole. You think anybody care? Like, no, you won my fantasy team last year. I'm good with that. Nobody cares. Come on, man. Nobody cares about that stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And if they do, they're just trolls. They're just trolls. There's always going to be trolls. There's always going to be people that's going to hate. There's always going to be people that's upset. There's always people that you can't do anything about that. If you don't know that by now, that if you're somebody, you don't even have to be somebody. And you can say anything. You can be like, man, sunny outside today. And somebody be like, you probably got skin cancer. Yeah, you can't get around it. You understand what I'm saying? You can't get around it. So, yeah, nothing even to worry about. I was on Instagram. I was on the gram, and I was putting my Steph Curry interview up. Thank you for everybody that read the Steph, that watched the Steph Curry video. Low key, we got more views on the Steph Curry video than some like national TV outlets that got to sit down with Steph in person, like double, triple their views. And I sent that right back to the studio too. Like, I'm just saying, I ain't trying to say the same. If we got 100,000, they got 40, and we just chilling in the crib. That's just people. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that. But I was on the Instagrams, and I saw my guy, Chris Haynes. Love Chris Haynes. Good guy. Great guy. And he was talking about, he was concerned about how some of this Draymond Green, Jordan Poole story was being, reported and covered because, they talk about Jordan Poole's dad, and they some real personal stuff is going on with Draymond and Jordan Poole and the family and all that. But here's the issue that I had with it is, and this is the issue. This is a issue that I have with anybody that always talks about, why are you reporting this? Always remember this. There's nothing to report if some people don't say anything. Let me repeat that, Dr. Umar. There's nothing to report if nobody is saying anything. And what I mean by that is, if Draymond would have nipped this in the bud at the beginning, we wouldn't be talking about it right now. If he clearly just said, listen, I wish him well. I'm so sorry about what happened. He has a fresh start. I love him. I love his family. Everything, I apologize. I was wrong. And that was it. Then there wouldn't be no story. But when you go on and try to justify punching somebody straight up in their jaw, then you reply to a fake account to start beef with KG, and then you basically threaten somebody's father and challenges them to a fight. People are going to report on that. People are going to cover that. I mean, it's the middle of the summer. People are going to report. I saw it on CNN, not ESPN, not The Athletic, not SI. I saw it on CNN. CNN was who was talking about it. CNN was talking about it. So don't blame us. Don't blame the media. Because we got to eat. That's the other important thing that I always tell young people, young journalists. Like, listen, the Avi that doesn't have a picture on it is not gonna pay your mortgage. You gotta eat. You gotta, and we get into it right now, like with the Skip Bayless and Stephen A. and Shannon. Like, you gotta eat, right? And as you get older in this business, you normally have a family. You have a wife, you have a kid, your girlfriend, whatever it may be. Even if you're single, your mom's probably getting older, your pop's getting older, grandma maybe still out there. It's a business that's not really one that you can make money in for the rank and file. You see what I'm saying? It's top heavy. It's kind of like the NFL. It's a top heavy business. So yeah, you see, Skip making $8 million and such and such making $10 million and Joe Buck, but it's top heavy, right? Most people that do the work, like the cool stuff you see on social media, the articles that you read that you actually care about, they're not getting paid. Not like that. They're getting paid like the manager at the Quick Trip. And if you live in somewhere like California, like where I live, or New York, or these other places, they ain't gonna cut it. So you got to think about how you gonna eat. And if you are a content creator or something like that, and Draymond Green is challenging somebody to a fight online, you could either A, say, something, this is really not quote unquote news, so I'm not gonna cover it and have to eat ramen noodles, or you can cover it, get your clicks, get your views, get your money, and be able to, take your lady out to Ruth Chris before somebody else does. Do you want your lady going out to Ruth Chris with somebody else? Because of what somebody on social media said? Because such and such told you shouldn't do it? Because somebody disagreed with your post? Because you decided to go with the person that you don't know. You decided to go with their opinion over eating. Now your girl is at Ruth Chris with somebody else. She's in right now on the East Coast. What is it? 6:30. Right now, you listening to me, your girl is getting ready to go to Ruth Chris. Not with her girls, with Dexter St. Jock, because Dexter decided to do the post. See, you hear what I'm saying? So I saw something. What was Dan Leviton was talking about, Stephen A. and everything, destroyed the industry. No, he didn't. They didn't destroy the industry. They adapted. And let me tell you, you can't destroy something if somebody engages in it. You see what I'm saying? It's like war. It's like that war, but we engaged in war. You engaged in war. Nah, BSO's not struggling. I'm going out for a nice dinner right after this. You see my wife up there? That's my wife up there. I'm doing all right. You see what I'm saying? I'm not, no, BSO's not struggling. I would never struggle. I used to struggle. Don't get me wrong, Ken. I used to struggle. because I used to try to listen to what everybody had to say. But then, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. When I started looking at them numbers, and I started looking at those numbers, platforms doing well. Look, it's always difficult. It's you have to change with the times. You can't just stay stagnant. But not the platforms actually is more popular than it's ever been. It's more popular than it's ever been. Believe it or not. Now, platforms go through changes and things, and everybody doesn't like that, but that don't have nothing to do with me. Once again, I'm gonna be eating well. But Dan Lebertar trying to be purist, but hating on this Twitter comment, hating on new age sports media. Well, first off, I am new age sports media. I helped start this. We gotta be honest and unbiased. I wasn't alone. I wasn't the first. Wasn't the last. But everything that you see in 2023, some of us was doing in 2017, 2018. Okay, and then the mainstream media pushed that out, and then did it themselves. Just remixed it. Stingley asked me if I got Fulton or Anyway. I got Anyway. Anyway is my guy, the Mexican monster. That's a tough task. This guy that's bigger than him going up in weight class. So Lebertar is talking about, he destroyed the industry, blah, blah, blah. And Stephen A was like, and I like YouTube Stephen A. I feel like he's a little more open about what's really going on that. But the thing about like Skip and Shannon and Stephen A. and all of this is it's clear what is valued with the companies now, okay? And I give you an example, all right? So now I like Cool Boy Steph. It's just, anyways, something else. Let me give you an example of what I mean, right? Now, ESPN had options to get rid of certain people, right? Lay off certain people, right? Now, in theory, one would say that if someone went on SportsCenter multiple times, went on national television multiple times, quoting fake reports from Twitter and Ballsack Sports, that they may be a liability, right? Instead, that person is actually seen as a rising star. Why? Because the buffoonery that he does actually gets attention. Okay? Because it's buffoonery. Buffoonery sells. So they're like, we have a buffoon up here. Someone asked me at the door. Marcus, relax. Buffoonery sells. People like buffoonery. So we got a buffoon up here. We got a dancing bear up here that's making us money. We got a guy that dresses up in prison guard before the NBA Finals to show how they're going to lock up the Warriors. Marcus, please, I'm live. Thank you. Cut it out. So we got a buffoon up here. We got somebody that can secretly push racial narratives that don't exist. We have a fool. We have a dancing kid. We got a Shaq Java. Go up there and, say the white people are racist against Joel Embiid. They got a mark. It's basically like a double agent. That's your rising star. Your rising star at ESPN is somebody that seems to take pleasure in downing black people. These are your rising stars. Your rising stars are buffoons. People that hate black men. These are your rising stars. Meanwhile, the people that are just like legit, that just want to talk sports and is reasonable and stuff, we want to see them. Get rid of them. Get rid of Susie Goldberg. Somebody just want to talk about the football. Let's get a little action in here. Let's get some more buffoons in here. That's what they want. And here's the thing. It's not their fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. You watch the buffoonery. You like the buffoonery. You like the buffoons. I like Cam and Mace's show because it's unfiltered. They can say what they want. But they're rappers. They're not media people. But see, you guys don't want media people anymore. We got to be honest. You don't want media people anymore. You don't want journalists. You want entertainers. It's clear. You want entertainers. You don't want journalists. Now, when I was saying this 8 years ago, I was called all type of names. You're this. You're black sassy online. You're me, just like media. I was personally attacked. I said, hey, you just want entertainment. The numbers don't lie. I see what you like. I don't even particularly like it, but that's what you like. It's not my job. Look, if I want to see something I like, I go and look at it, right? But my job is not just what I like, it's what you like. What the people like, not you specifically, but what the people like. That's what the people, I was called all type of names. Now, fast forward, that's all that's out there. That's all that's out there. That's all that's out there. Just, what do I got? Like, do I got to go Soldier Boy? Boy for boy, line for line. That's what happened. People don't want that. And I have friends and journalists. They don't want that. Famous Hater says, how much you think Shannon will get on the free market? It depends on what Shannon want to do. Does he, it's an interesting situation. Do you want to go with Stephen A and be Mace? Or do you want to go out on your own without the machine of ESPN and be, Hove? Do you want to be your own boss, or do you want to have somebody telling you what to do? It's a choice, right? And there's no wrong choice because ESPN may throw him a bag. Once again, I don't know what Shannon's situation is. I'm assuming he's all right, but you can always be better, right? So Shannon, they can say, hey, Shannon, it's $15 million. We'll pay you more than Stephen A. That's like what they did with McAfee. They lied about McAfee, by the way, talking about, he not making his. No, McAfee, he making a lot. He not making enough. He taking a pay cut. You know why he's not taking a pay cut? Let me tell you why he's not taking a pay cut. Let me give you some journalistic economics, right? I'm the boss, right? So when I'm the boss, I have to pay everybody, right? I have to pay for everything. If I go out and cover an event, I have to pay for it. I pay for the hotel, the flight, the Ubers. I have to pay for all that out of my pocket, out of the revenue that I make, right? Now, if I go work for somebody else, if tomorrow I went work for Sports Illustrated and I said, I'm going to the fight, you know who's paying for the fight? Sports Illustrated, not me. And that's the difference. He going to ESPN, all of that production and all of the co-host and the camera guy and the social media guy, all of those people he was paying out of his pocket, ESPN is paying now. The only thing he don't have to do nothing no more except cash his check. See, I want you to know that. I ain't taking a pay cut. No. So Shannon, he got a lot of options. You want to handle everything you own, you want somebody else to handle for you. I mean, Shannon been on TV forever. He's on CBS. I think the NFL, he know what he's doing. Skip, the thing about Skip is this, right? Skip is the villain, right? Skip is the villain. And the thing about Sage Steele is employed because she used white woman tactics. She sued them before they could get rid of her. So you can't say I'm being wrongfully done at work and then fire somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she pulled a white woman tactic on ESPN and kind of locked herself into a job. I mean, that was definitely some kind stuff, and it worked. See, Skip's the villain, right? So you got to have a good guy, you have to have a villain. The problem is Skip is, kind of a control freak, right? He's not as much of a people person as, say, Stephen A. You know what I mean? I'm talking about behind the scenes. It's not that Skip's not a bad guy behind the scenes. he does his thing in it, but he's not a terrible person behind the scenes, right? But if you work for him, he makes you feel like he's the boss, which he is, right? And you get black men, strong black men that have played sports before. It's difficult for that dynamic. You have an old white guy telling a black man that's won Super Bowls and all of this stuff, that's been to the mountaintop. It's a tough dynamic, right? Whereas it was different when it was him and Stephen A, because they're equals in the sense that they both were journalists. They both came up the same way, right? It's different with athletes, right? It's different with athletes. Have you noticed that most of the no offense to the athletes that are on with Stephen A or on, but they're not necessarily was the best of the best. You know what I mean? They wasn't the elite of the elite. So the power dynamic isn't as expansive. So they talk about Richard Sherman, which would make sense. I even heard that maybe he thought about Jalen Rose, but I don't think Jalen's going to mess with him like that after what happened on First Take. But he'll find somebody, and you know something? The people are going to watch. You know how I know people are going to watch is because Skip did a video recently and was standing all weird in front of his thing and was talking about LeBron like he always does. And he got something like 10 million views. So you can't tell me people don't care or people don't engage when he makes a video and it gets 10 million views on social media. Him looking like a weirdo, standing there, Ernestine, doing the video. So people do care, even if they say that they don't. I don't think Shady's going to work out. Because people actually don't think Shady knows what he's talking about. So I don't think that's going to. I think they're going to keep that as it is on that side. So, people don't really understand, how media works. That's why you have to be careful about what you say now. Yeah, Skip don't care about if you like him. He doesn't care if you engage with him. He won't engage back, but he's going to engage. I think he thought he was untouchable, and he went a step too far with the DeMar Hamlin, even though if you read the entire thread of tweets, it wasn't as bad as it was portrayed. But as I found out myself, is that when people want to take you down, it doesn't take much for something to snowball, right? You guys should remember that. That's just a life lesson. When there's a bunch of people waiting on your downfall, it doesn't take much for it to snowball. Then it's out of control. It's an avalanche. You can't control it. You can't control the narrative anymore. You can't be rational anymore. If there's a bunch of people that want you to fail, they are just waiting. They are waiting. Trust me, they are waiting for you to say something. They are waiting. It's kind of what if social media was like the jungle, they're the coyotes or whatever. They're the lions at night. They're just waiting. They're waiting on you to go out there and just be drinking some water at the lake. And then it's gonna come down on the avalanche. They were just waiting on Skip. You can't do it with LeBron because he talks about LeBron so much. It's like they don't really have an effect anymore. So they just waited. He had said suspect things before, and he's done a good job of staying off of that avalanche. But we're all on that Summer Jam screen at some point. Okay, so, but he's still the villain, and he's really out of the shows that they do have, he is the one that moves the needle more than anybody else. Because trust me, I check this stuff out every day. If you go look at the social numbers from the other shows, they're not great. None of the shows get the type of engagement that Skip will get for one tweet about LeBron or whatever. No, he wasn't suspended for his comments. He wasn't. And I think what with Shannon, it was more than that. I think, you just get to a breaking point in any type of relationship. And I think it just was a breaking point. I think the day that he wouldn't let Shannon finish his thoughts, and Shannon was like, fine, just whatever. You just get to a breaking point in a relationship. I think I actually had a role in Lil Wayne not having more involvement. I think that was the part of the plan until I literally said that's the stupidest thing of all time, and it got something like 1,000 retweets, and ever since then he's been talking to different people. So I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. I'm sure Wayne maybe have a new maybe intro or something, but I doubt he would be on there. But yeah, NFL running backs. People want to talk about that. Yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed. CBA has them screwed. They can't. They shouldn't strike. They're not going to strike. They're not going to do any of that. NFL players are weak. Not weak like meaning like not strong. They're weak when it comes to the CBA. The reason why is that the way the owners have set them up for the last whatever years, 20, 30 years, they set them up to actually be in a position where they almost can't strike because they can't afford to. Like out of the NBA, the NFL is very similar to society. Like the wealth distribution is way off. You have like on each team, you have 2 or 3 guys that got the generational wealth. And then everybody else is just basically they're like the manager at Chrysler. Does Chrysler still make cars? Don't know. So yeah, they never do it. So they complaining on Twitter. Like you complaining on Twitter, and there's nothing you can do about it. You agreed to a deal that locks you in for 10 years. Where were you at 3 years ago? Saquon Barkley was good 3 years ago. Austin Eckler was good 3 years ago. Josh Jacobs, they were all coming to the league. They didn't do anything. They don't think it far out. And the reason that they make the thing for 10 years is so most of the people by the time the CBA comes back again, all of those guys will be retired. So don't matter. You can play. Austin Eckler's not going to be in the league 10 years from now, 7 years from now. It's just the way it works. They're just not. Running backs don't last 10, 11, 12 years anymore. It's not feasible. So that's screwed. They got nobody to blame but themselves, really, about that. And I think he left Skip out the drive with the DeMar. Well, Shannon, he's a football player. So, of course he's going to feel us. I think we all felt a certain way about DeMar Hamlin. See, it's funny. I forget what the girl name is, but they had that King Von video on, and King Von was telling the guards he was gay so he can go to protective custody, and his girlfriend, I forget what her name is, was it Icy Hot or what? I don't know what her name is, but she was like niggas ain't been to jail and it's showing. And the immediate response was like, why would we know what jail is like? I wouldn't want to know the jail. I wouldn't want to know so much about jail that I knew that I had to act gay to get away from some other people. Like, that's too much information. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that much about jail. So I think, when you talk about like DeMar Hamlin and things of that nature, it's like, I don't want to see a dead person on the field. I don't want to see dead bodies. Nobody want to see that. They died on the field. Nobody wants to see that. That's traumatic for anybody. And unfortunately, if you had the unfortunate, way of having to watch somebody die or get shot or something like that, I'm sure you don't want to relive that. And Shannon is a football player, so he saw that and he probably had some flashbacks or something. So I get it. But yeah, it wasn't going to work after that. They tried it. It wasn't the same. Video game takes. How do I feel about Richard Sherman joining the show? That's fine. It works. It works in a way. Richard Sherman, he had a famous exchange with Skip back in the day. So it works. It works. It really doesn't matter who it is. Like I said, two things can be true. I think Shannon outgrew the show, but the show still is Skip's show. So it really doesn't matter who they bring in. Personally, they should bring me in. Like old boy said, one of the comments was like, yeah. But I might be too honest. I think that's my problem. Maybe too honest. Yeah. Like I said, I tell Skip right off the jump. I'm not like it's 4 in the morning. Why is coming in? Why are you coming in at 4 in the morning to talk about some sports? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we do that at 4 in the morning? And trust me, I've been in the producer's room and all that stuff. I know exactly how these shows work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Honestly, most of you, if you're not camera shy, could do their jobs. You really could. If you're not camera shy, I would say that's probably the most thing that would stop people is that it's live and you have to be able to think quickly on your feet. You know what I'm saying? But as far as just having an opinion on something, they're just opinions, and most of them are wrong all the time. So it's like it's not brain surgery. You know, it's not like construction. You just going in there. I don't need to be there at 4 in the morning. You'd be like, "What do you think about LeBron?" What do you think about LeBron? I mean, okay. Do we need a meeting for that? Do I need a meeting to talk about LeBron? I don't think so. I don't need a meeting. I was outside with my kid 2 minutes before I came in with you guys. All this stuff is off the top. How long we been in? What's the time we've been in there? We had 36 minutes. I did a whole show, no commercials. Probably better than the stuff that you see right now on TV. Just answering you guys' questions. We do 30 minutes of this every week. Be better than some of the stuff that you see on TV. It's true. Maybe Skip should put his glasses back on or call the GOAT Tom Brady for help. Tom Brady's not going on doing that. Tom Brady's over there looking at Kim Kardashian's ass at the white party. That's what he's doing. Looking at Kim Kardashian's booty at the white party. I'll tell you guys a story. All right, now I had to get out of here in a little bit. But this has to do with Zion. It doesn't have to do with Zion Williamson, but it's people ask me all the time, how can Zion Williamson, how can that happen, right? How can Zion Williamson happen? How does this keep happening to athletes? I'll tell you guys a story. Now, I'm going to leave out names, okay, to protect the guilty, okay? Hopefully the person that's in this story is not watching. But let me tell you how the Zion Williamson stuff can happen. This is a true story. It's real. It's happening. But I'm not gonna say any names, okay? Here's the story, okay? There's an NFL player. Maybe I should have said a different league. Well, too late. It's an NFL player that is currently engaged to a young lady, okay? He's currently engaged to a young lady, all right? And on social media, they look happily ever after. They look so great. They look so amazing together. So beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. They look beautiful together. And that athlete is with his young lady right now in a location that I won't disclose. Okay. He's with his lady right now in a location that I won't disclose. But in that same location, he has an IG model in the floor below them. In the same hotel as he's in with his fiance. Right now. In the room below. And he sneaks out when he has time and spends time with both. And let's just say the two have run into each other while this has all been going on, but the fiance obviously does not know what's happening. Now, the reason that I tell you this story is that if this person, the side chick, decided that they just want to blow up this famous NFL player spot. Famous. It's not like a third stringer. I'm talking about Pro Bowler, future Hall of Fame. If this person decided to blow up their spot right now, they could. And this is a Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer. So a vet, not a rookie, not a youngin. And these type of stories happen every day, all day, every day. Because athletes are stupid, okay? They're dumb. And that's the best way you can explain the Zion Williamson's situation. It's never going to change. Now, granted, that's an extreme situation with Zion Williamson, but these guys are playing with fire. These guys are playing with fire every single day. Every single day. They're playing with fire. And it's just a matter of time of who it's going to be. It's just a matter of who it's going to be. And it doesn't matter if it's even the NFL players, the NBA players. This is hard to say. It's just a matter of time. So don't feel too bad for Zion. Well, I mean, you can feel bad for him, but like, understand that, he's not alone. It's just something that you deal with, I guess, as an athlete. Zion, here's the thing about restraining though. Here's the problem with Zion. He still communicates with her. So even while she's doing all of this, he still want to smash. He said, I know it sounds crazy, but yeah. Women will do some outlandish things to athletes, and they will still deal with them over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. So no restraining order, none of this stuff. Because they continue to talk to him. It's shocking, but it's not, shouldn't be surprising. Shocking, but not surprising. Shocking, but not surprising. So, yeah, I mean, I feel for him, but, I mean, he's okay. Probably maybe he's messing with his mental health a little bit, but he'll be all right. It's easier to deal with something like that when you made $200 million than it is if you only make it $200 a week. You get what I'm saying? There's guys that's dealing with that, and they make $2,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? Much worse to have to deal with that and your rent. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying. So, yeah, he's okay. He's going to be all right. As long as he plays and plays well, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, it's a lot of fake. I guess that's another thing. There's a lot of fake outrage about everything. Everybody's mad and outraged. Nobody's upset. Nobody's really mad. There are certain things that you should get, mad about. But when it comes to like athletes and media and things like that, nobody's that mad. Nobody's upset. I'm just telling you the truth right now. People can sit there and say, I hate Skip Bayless. I hate Stephen A. Smith. I hate this. I hate ESPN. Nobody's mad. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. I'm just telling you the truth. I know for a fact. I hate this guy. I hate that guy. I hate this site. I hate this. What's the guys that all the white guys that do all the black Instagram pages and stuff? I hate those guys. I can't believe these white guys are taking advantage of the black culture. And I say, something that's very interesting that you mentioned that, right? I'm pretty sure now nobody's going to click their stories, right? Then I click on Daily Live stories and I see 1 million, 1 million views. Well, you really showed them. They were laughing about taking Elon's money off of black culture? Well, it only works is if you engage. Once again, I don't know how many times I have to stress this, right? They can't be successful unless you engage in the platform. Shade Room can't be successful unless you engage in the platform. BSO can't be successful unless you engage in the platform. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Kendrick Perkins can't be successful unless you engage in the platform. Dr. Umar can't be successful, engage in the thing. So you can be, so nobody, to me, nobody's mad. Because if you were really mad, then nobody would engage. But you do. Not you, just in general. I hate that. Well, let me click on them. Let me follow them. Let me see everything they do. One of the weirdest things to me in all of time is that people that say they hate something, but they still follow it. Like, why are you even watching what I'm doing? If you hate me so much, you hate this, why are you watching? I hate First Take, but you know everything that's going on there. I hate Skip Bayless. You react to every one of his tweets. How are you hating it? How do you hate something that you interact with all the time? What was that? There was a guy, I think, this week, did a video, knew exactly what he was doing, talking about why I won't date black women. Said he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He got like 100 million views. People saying, I'm not going to engage in this while just alerting other people to it. Got to smarten up, Nas. All right, I got to get out of here. I need a drink. You guys have a good weekend. I'll see you in Vegas for next week for Spence and Crawford. Come on in, sweetie. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
You want to say hi to the live stream?
I do not.
You want to say hi to the live stream?
I don't.
Why are you hating on the people? You hating on the people. Stop hating on the people. Yeah, I'll be in Vegas for Spence and Bud Crawford. Should be a good fight. Be 117 degrees. I'll have my shorts on and everything. So you guys, I'm taking Spence, by the way. I think somebody asked me that earlier in the chat. I'm taking Spence by decision. I'll get more into it why next week, but I'm taking Spence by decision. I'm taking anyway by, I don't think he's gonna knock him. I'll take it anyway by unanimous decision as well. Football season's around the corner. I will try my best to do more live streams about whatever's the headlines that are going on. As long as you guys enjoy them and actually watch them, I will actually do more of them, maybe like once a week. Like I said, I'm trying to cut my social media intake down. But I appreciate everybody that did come on. I don't know. I just checked like 600 something people or something, 6,000 or something. That's great. That's amazing. I appreciate you still checking out for me after all of these years. Be safe out there. Don't drive like the kid from the fight, Jordan Addison. Don't drink and drive. Be careful. Be safe. People out here getting robbed and stuff like that. So I want you guys to make it through the weekend because it's not guaranteed these days.